It has now come to light in the last week that Adam Schiff, as part of his whistleblower investigation, caused the private phone records of fellow Congressman Devin Nunes, as well as journalist John Solomon, and as well as Donald Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, to be subpoenaed. Not only is this an abusive process on the part of Mr. Schiff, for which he should be thrown out of office, but it is a violation of the U.S. Constitution and the protections given American citizens. It is also a violation of the attorney-client privilege because Mr. Schiff most likely invaded on the attorney-client privilege between Donald Trump and his personal lawyer, Mr. Giuliani. It is also a violation of the journalist privilege with sources, freedom from disclosing sources. And who knows what was said during those conversations. So if this matter goes to the Senate, and I hope it doesn't go to the Senate, I hope there is no impeachment of the president, but we see what we're dealing with in this crazed Democrat Party right now. If it goes to the Senate, the Republican senators will control the subpoena process. And so what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And those senators in the Senate should subpoena Mr. Schiff's conversations with the mainstream media, not only for during the Russia hoax, but for this whistleblower hoax, to find out his leaking of confidential information, to find out his orchestration and his involvement in the orchestration of this whistleblower insanity, to find out when he knew the Russia hoax was completely worthless, and yet he kept the country, he kept lying to the country about its existence to continue to destroy our nation and the presidency, to find out his detailed involvement in the orchestration of the whistleblower situation. His and his team I talk about, who they spoke to, how long before it became public did they start setting up the president with the whistleblower situation. What were the conversations with, for example, John Brennan, the corrupt former head of the CIA who cannot stand Donald Trump? What were the conversations between Mr. Schiff and the whistleblower himself? What were the conversations between Mr. Schiff's team and the whistleblower himself? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. If Mr. Schiff has the audacity to seek the phone records of Devin Nunes, to seek the phone records of Rudy Giuliani, to seek the phone records of journalist John Solomon, then everything's fair game. And when and if this goes to the Senate, Mr. Schiff must be put in the witness box. He must be forced to testify under oath, and he must be forced to testify about his involvement in law breaking all across the board here.